Welcome to part 2. We're going to start with this first problem where they want us to find the total surface area of this cone. So we're going to look up our formula for the total surface area of a cone and see that it's S equals pi RL plus pi R squared. So we're going to substitute in what we know. So pi times my radius times my lateral height. Remember that your true height, your h is perpendicular, your L is slanted. So this is 13 that we want right here, plus pi times my radius squared. In general, you're going to use your slant height, your L, for area problems, surface area problems, because it's on the surface of the figure. You're going to use that true height, the h, for volume because it fills the inside, which is what you would do for a volume problem. From here, we're going to go calculate, and again, make sure that you leave things in terms of pi. So we would get 65 pi here and 25 pi here. So when we add these together, we're going to get 90 pi. So our area would be 90 pi, and they didn't list units, so we're just going to write square units. Because again, all of our measurement problems need units. All right, this next figure is a hexagonal prism because my base is in the shape of a hexagon because it has 6 sides. I have 2 parallel bases. That makes this a prism. So we're going to look up the formula for the total surface area of a prism, and we're going to see that it's PH plus 2B. Okay, here are those capital letters again. So we're going to go calculate P and we're going to calculate B. So the perimeter, it's the perimeter of a hexagon. I have 6 sides. Each side is 10.6. So this is going to come out to be 63.6 kilometers. To calculate the area of the base is a polygon. So this is going to be that 1/2 AP. I've just calculated P. So this is 1/2 times my apothem. This is my apothem right here. So we're going to have our 9.2 here and our 63.6. When we multiply all of these together, we're going to get 292.56. So continuing our formula now, I can plug in the pieces. P is 63.6. H is the height of my figure. So this is, I'm looking for a side that's going to be perpendicular to my bases. That makes this my height. So we're using 33 plus 2 times the area of the base, which is 292.56. And again, once we go calculate all of this, we're going to get 2,683.92. So our answer would be 2,683.92 square kilometers. I want you to stop the video now and go do the surface area of a sphere. Notice that there's only one formula because we can't do lateral surface area because a sphere doesn't actually have sides. So stop the video, do your lateral surface area or your total surface area of the sphere, and then start it to make sure that you're correct. And you should be getting 144 square yards. Okay, so let's go on to the last page now. The first problem that we have here is the volume of a triangular pyramid, and I talked about this earlier. We have to recognize that the base is the triangle. It's not the rectangle that it's sitting on. So when we look up our formula, it's the area of the base times the height. So I'm going to go off and calculate the area of the base. The base is a triangle. It's this triangle right here, or the one on the back, same triangle. So I'm going to take this 11.1 because that has to be the same. So since this is a triangle, I'm doing 1/2 base times height. My base is the 11.1. The height of the triangle is the 2 millimeters. So this comes out to be, sorry, my figure was missing a number. It's 6.2 millimeters. So we multiply this all out together, and we're going to get the area of the base to be 34.41. So now we can finish this off. We've got our 34.41 times the height. This is the height of the entire figure. Remember what I said, heights have to be perpendicular to the base. Since the base is the triangle, I'm looking for something perpendicular to the two triangles, and it's going to be this figure this segment right here, which would be the same as this 14.7. So that's going to be our height. Once we've done that, we can multiply these together and get 505.827. Unless you're told to round, you don't need to lose accuracy. So we're going to keep all of that, and this would be cubic millimeters. Because we're dealing with volume, our units are now cubic. Okay, I want you to stop the video now and go find the volume of the cone and the cylinder. Okay, we should have gotten 8,748 pi cubic kilometers and 96 pi cubic inches. All right, this last section is similar to everything we're doing, except it doesn't provide us with the figures, and it's also asking us to find different pieces, not simply the area, the volume area, the surface area. And so what we're going to do is follow the same procedure. The only thing we're going to add is drawing the picture first so that we can visualize what we're doing. And then we're going to choose the formula, we're going to substitute what we know, solve, and answer the question. We're going to actually start with the second one. I'm going to work you through that one step by step, and then I'm going to have you try the other two on your own. All right, so the volume of a sphere, so I'm going to draw a sphere, is 288 pi cubic meters. So let's think about what we need for a sphere. We need to know the radius, so I'm just going to call that r right here. And since it uses volume, that's the formula that I want. The volume of a sphere has the formula 4/3 pi r cubed. So now let's substitute in what we know. They tell me that the volume is 288 pi. I've got to keep the 4/3, that's a constant, as is the pi, and I don't know the radius, so I'm just going to leave that r cubed. When solving this, the first thing I would do is divide both sides by pi, which reduces my equation to this. And now I can multiply by 3/4, or you can do that in two steps, multiply by 3 and then divide by 4. Either way, you're going to get r to the third to be 216. To get r, I need the cube root of 216, which is going to be 6. So my answer here, they asked for the diameter. What I found was the radius, so my diameter is going to be 2 times my radius, so it's going to be 12 cubic, volume was in cubic meters, diameter will be measured in meters, not cubic, because it's not a volume problem. So now go back to the previous problem, where it's asking you about a parallelogram. Stop the video, draw your parallelogram, label what you know, and solve the problem. Then turn it on to check again. And you should get 3.6 inches. Okay, final problem. I want you to go through the same thing. We're going to draw this one together. We have a square pyramid, so my base is a square. Since it's a pyramid, all of the vertices are going to connect to a single point. The height is going to drop down perpendicular in the middle. This is my lateral height, and these are the sides of my base. It gives us a total surface area, so I know I'm using a surface area formula, and they're telling me the length of the side of the base is 5. Since they refer to this as a square pyramid, I know that they're both 5. Okay, given this figure, I want you to go ahead and look up your formula and solve this, and then turn the video back on to check. Okay, if you've done this correctly, you should be getting 10.5 millimeters. And that brings us to the end of our lesson. Head on to Math Excel now, and let's get your Tier 1 and your knowledge check done.